Okay, calm. So welcome to YOP, Young Lewisham Project. So if you walk over here, this is some work that was done by some young kids that are at Bike Project. Got a little basketball ring. Some pupils are over there working on something over there, some bikes and stuff. This is our kitchen, our cafeteria. We just got a fresh load of fruits, vegetables and stuff like that. They're just cooking up some food for lunchtime. Lunchtime's around 12-ish, I think. This is the bike room. This is where we got mechanics and yeah, stuff like that. So they're busy right now, so we're just gonna walk through. This is carpentry. This is our woodworks. You got some things here, if you look up here. All the tools. This is where like our garden area is / pond, greenhouse. This is the side they wanted to have nature. This is the bike room where we've got all different variations of bikes. Come through here. Here's where we got the actual studio. You go in there, pan it around, have a little, it's all padded and that.
So many followers, so many sheep, but I've gone ghost. They call me a creep, they call me a weirdo, but they can't chat to me when it comes to ramming on beats.
I think this is the end of the tour. This is YOP. And if you want to come, you're welcome to.
Can you tell us what the community means to you?
Community means everything to me.
That's a good one. Community means everything to me. Without community, there's nothing going on.
Support network. It's people who I can go to and likewise they can go to me.
Gathering of people that are working towards the same sort of objectives.
A tight-knit sort of area, so we all get along, we should get along.
Describe how everyone is connected.
The shops I go to on a daily basis, the gym, on my way to the gym, my church.
A collective of people that come together for a common purpose.
It could be geographical, it could be people that live near to each other, or it could be people that have shared ideas or shared feelings about things.
My thing is we should all contribute back to our community in any small way.
We all have to, live in a society where we get along with people.
In a happy, friendly, supportive way.
Community means family.
People. People make a community. Without your people and people from the same place as you, your understanding of who you are can be a little bit skewed.
I'll call it a problem solver. Do you know what I'm saying? We solve problems.
It makes a safer area if the community all stick together.
My word on community would be each one teach one. We support each other.
Community is a group of people that stay. Community is the family you find, the support networks you find.
It means connection, it means helping, it means being there for each other.
It's the young people, old people.
People lump together. The reason why I say lump together is because sometimes it's just you're forced into a space.
Having shared values and interest as each other, respecting each other's values and celebrating each other's success.
When I was growing up, my father was a barber, so everybody came to my house. All types of people from Africa, Caribbean came to my house. So what that meant to me was a big classroom, a big place where I could learn so many things.
Help my neighbour as soon as I come out. He's actually elderly, so being able to just greet him and say hello. The local cat on our road now is friendly with me. It wasn't at first. Going into my corner shop, they're quite playful. They'll be like, why are you always on the phone? I'm like, mind your business.
The school you go to, the friends you move with, the venues you go to, social media.
So I live in an estate. So we come together at some points and eat food together and sort of help out and talk to each other.
You could come out one day and my friend's mum's cooking for everyone. And everyone go and eat, drink, and maybe next week, my other friend's mum's doing it. That's what I used to call community, but I think we're afraid of each other now, as people. So that's why I think the community thing is dying down. We're very much afraid of each other. The news don't help with that. Social medias don't help, because the more they pump fear, the more people fear their neighbour.
We don't even have a WhatsApp group, but between us, it's like, do you know what I mean? The water goes. I know it's all good because it's come from the rest of my community who have let me know it's not just me, it's them too. Like, little things like that, the bins haven't been changed.
It takes a village to raise a child.
My nan used to say, it don't just take parents to raise a child, but a whole village.
It takes a village or it takes a community to raise a child.
It's like your village, you can always count on them, your neighbours, your friends, all of that coming together, that's community.
Unity. It's a lot different than when I came up. My grandmother's house was sort of like a hub, if you like, for the West Indian community of that area. On a Sunday, there'd be 30 people in my grandmother's house.
Community is love. Community is peace. Community is understanding.
Sharing resources as well. A good example of that is just this morning I took 10 bikes to a local school. Those bikes had been donated to us from bike shops or members of the public, and the young people here refurbished them, and then I've taken them to a school so they can distribute them to kids that need bikes.
And it's all about us growing up together. And family is love.
My name's Anna Lumley and I'm the Managing Director at Young Lewisham Project. I've been doing community and youth work for about 25 years now.
I'm Sydney. I worked in Southwark for 20 years.
My name's Yvonne Henry and I've been working with young people for around 20 years, maybe even more than 20 years now. And I've always worked in the Borough of Lewisham. No, that's not true. I've also worked in the Borough of Southwark.
My name's Peter Jamieson. I originally grew up in Wolverhampton. I'm a social worker working in London. I work with young offenders.
My name's Pauline Campbell. I was working for the London Borough of Southwark for 36 years.
And my name is Trevor Swaby. I've been doing youth work, and I've been doing youth work all my life, which is probably about 30 plus years I've been doing youth work.
We had a great team in Southwark. We did some amazing work. And as time went on, the project grew because we were managing to bring in more resources and more people. And they created a role for me around constructive leisure, which was how I got into doing more preventative work, which was all about just getting young people involved and engaging in activities in their spare time. And we worked with some of the most risky and vulnerable young people that were in the borough.
I work with young people. I call them children because they're under 18. Sometimes young people get described as being older. So every time I'm dealing with the police or professionals, I will always call them children. Yes, I know that they're young people. When I'm talking to them, they're young men, young women. But when I'm talking to professionals, they are children.
I used to work on the street with young people who were not accessing the service for various different reasons. They were going into the youth club.
Going out there and putting our faces about, initially to very hostile responses, and maintaining a consistent presence.
Young men at risk, big time at risk, and they were showing you respect, and I'm thinking, wow, these are gang members, these are gang leaders. It's like, I'm waiting for it to change, and it's like, you still hold on to them.
There were young people dying around us, and we were supporting families of the bereaved and working with potential perpetrators. Somehow we were able to establish some elements of calm, stability, and we're able to engage with young people no matter what allegiance or alliance they pledged. And we know that when they came to us respectfully, and we could get them to cooperate and do things that others couldn't.
I just wanted to help. I just felt that there was a need, and I felt that I could engage with these children. I have the natural ability to talk to a child. It doesn't matter how harsh or whoever they are, I can find a way to talk to that child.
Because they were on the verge of being labelled as antisocial, and all different negatives were now being thrown at them because they weren't going into the youth club.
I used to do a lot of stuff, me and my friends. Some that's good, some that's bad.
Me and my friends never used to have anything to do after school, and I never wanted to go home. Home was boring. So we used to stay on this road and get up to no good. We used to trouble people things, take people things, set places on fire.
And Sydney brought me and my friends to a youth club in Peckham, Queens Road.
In Peckham, we're very proud of our young people. Here we have a multicultural community, and what we are trying to do is to move them on to the next level of their development, which is to be young, responsible adult.
Sydney was my father. He's somebody that took me under his wing and guided me up to the person I am today. And even when times was difficult and hard, he was even more like a father to me by not giving up, by being there all the time, and by constantly pushing me and telling me not to give up.
One of the first people that realised and sort of provided a space for me to come out and sort of express and feel comfortable with who I am is actually like someone that I've like it's Sydney.
Got us off the road and like introduced us to like doing films and stuff like and other stuff like that.
But this is going to be Garfield's one now. What Garfield's dilemma is, but he wants to tell Sydney, but he's not sure whether he should, so you'll be saying
I'll be like, don't snitch.
Exactly.
I'm
going to be one of the good guys here. It's a nice experience, isn't it, making a film?
Are you really going to go and talk?
Felt great because before I never used a camera in my life. When we was doing it, I was like excited. Like every day I would get up and be excited to go and just do the movie. Once they start doing like movies and stuff like that, everybody wanted to join in and be a part of it. If he didn't come in my life, maybe probably been in prison, by the way, because some of my friends right now that I used to be around, they're either in prison or some of them are dead too, so you know.
I'd have probably ended up killing somebody on purpose, and I'm being dead serious. Like, it wasn't a joke. I was doing things, like really serious things that I shouldn't do. And I was so broken. I was such an angry child. Like, I never had money. I never had clothes to change. I never had a lot of things. I stole clothes. I stole shoes. I stole everything.
One of the police officers who was designated to the area that we worked in one summer said the young people that we'd engaged had created a drop of 76% in terms of crime and antisocial behaviour, which was a massive statistic. And subsequently to that, community safety team and the police were giving us money to continue the project.
They were behind the cameras, they were the script writers, they were helping with the directing and how the way the film should go. And that was great as well, because I've never done another one since, and here I am in 2023. Which goes to show that is something that is needed.
Boys that I know, that are from gangs, all of them Peckham ones, like most of them come from broken homes anyway, innit? So they're like, I didn't have a dad or nothing, innit? You lot don't know how it is, innit? So they'll be like, because of the home I come from, I had to struggle, so now I'm just trying to make a better life for myself, and there's no other way because their dad ain't there to teach them the other way, innit?
I just think that helped with my confidence, it helped with my public speaking, it helped me just open my mind to possibilities. Like, if you really put your mind to something, you can achieve it. We showed up every day to make these projects, and we were patient. Sometimes it took so many takes.
Slate, take 48, take 4.
Let's do a rehearsal then, please.
Marcus, can you come in here, please?
Part of the whole process from end to end was really, really great exposure. And just the storyline in itself, I felt like it was really important and it was relevant to what was happening at that time.
Oh, you can't keep going on like this.
Pause. Think about what you said. Sorry, it's the film. I wish you were smiling. That was beautiful, guys. That was beautiful. That was good how you done that. Yeah, thank you.
They would show our films in Peckham Cinema, Peckham Multiplex. It was really cool.
To see it on the screen was an amazing experience.
I was with My Life Productions about 15 or so years ago. And since then, I've had a background in photography, a little bit of acting, and I've just recently graduated in a film degree. And so I make some short films, I've worked on music videos.
It still has such an effect on us, it still means so much to us.
I used to lobby Parliament for young people's rights, gone to the Council of Europe as well to lobby for children's rights.
I think when I grew up and I did my own play called Kemi from the Block, that was shown in Theatre Peckham. And I think that's when I realised that, wow, okay, everything that I was doing back then as a young person really did have a huge impact on what I'm doing now.
But the young people, just the journey that you would see them go on during that work, whether it was sport, whether it was the film, whether it was whatever kind of music, whatever kind of thing you were using, you could just see such a massive change and the massive impact that it had.
It's refreshing to know that hasn't stopped. Coming here this morning and seeing the young man jump behind the cameras.
What do you know about the Windrush generation?
To be fair, I don't know too much about the Windrush generation.
Windrush generation, I don't know much about it, but I know that it's got a lot to do with people like my grandparents' age coming over from the Caribbean to work.
There was a generation of us that came here and did what we needed to do, and we helped to build this country.
They came after the Second World War. Their contributions, we're walking on their contributions. We walk around, we look at their contributions.
They came from the Caribbean and from Africa in many cases, and in some cases Asia.
and they came to the country to help rebuild. They were sold a lot of dreams of how it was going to be here in the UK, and they were met with a lot of racism, a lot of hardship, but they still fought through to do what they could to contribute to the British society.
They was hard-working people, no two ways about it. Their main concern was to get a job, get a house, look after their kids. They put us all in schools. They done right by us.
London Transport and the nurse. London Transport, you would go there and you're guaranteed you're going to see a black man on the gate or whatever. And to be honest with you, the black man was more harder than the white man when it came to paying your money as well. I have to be honest with that too, yeah?
As far as I'm concerned, they are our heroes for this country. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. And the backbone for this country. They worked their socks off. I know my father did. He did more than one job, and my uncles, they'd be up at 5 a.m. You'd see them in the snow and the fog, going to work with their satchel over their back.
So it's only now since I've grown up as well, and you know I'm third generation. So now I kind of understand like the sacrifices that they made as well.
My grandmother, she was part of that generation, and I know, just speaking from her story, having to come across on the ships and, funny enough, not knowing your own birthday because your certifications have all been mixed up. For years, you were celebrating a birthday that wasn't even her own.
Salt of the earth. They just don't want nothing that she ain't earned. You know, doesn't want anything she hasn't earned, and would welcome anybody.
It's a bit cliche, but extremely hardworking. To see where they are now, to see where they come from. I think humble beginnings is an understatement. They couldn't find anywhere to live and stuff like that. They opened the doors for a lot of black people today, you know. A lot of black people's now got houses, they've got mortgage. This is something that was unheard of during the Windrush days.
When some of them came, they had bunkers there. They were put in the bunkers until they could actually get somewhere to live.
My father came over on his own, and he stayed in a rented room with 3 other men with his one suitcase. And saved up enough money to bring my mum over, and she stayed with them, and then he bought his own house. By the time I was 1.5, my dad bought his first house. So that just shows you how hard, because he came with nothing.
I used to cry all the time because rats used to be jumping all over the bedding when I was in bed. So yeah, I think the Windrush generation went through a lot, but we are steadfast, and I'm the second generation, and now there is 2 other generations after me.
I came to England as part of that Windrush generation. Me and my father, my younger brother and my father came. The mental picture I had of England, that was quickly shattered by the reality of being here.
It shows they're resilient because they went through loads and loads of issues. Housing, racism, name it. But they still, want of a better word, come out real strong at the end of it.
Coming from that side of the world, they got here and basically weren't welcomed at all. Hate to sound cliche, but we all know the adage, no blacks, no Irish, no dogs.
There was quite a lot of resistance, I think, in that, as you say, you can change many things. You can change how you speak. You cannot change your colour.
I feel it's very sad that still our representation of being UK British is not recognised enough.
And he came over here when he was a little boy, and 50 years later, he's a grown granddad, and you want to deport him back to the country where he came over when he was, I don't understand that.
I look at it, you know, the mental side of it and how traumatic that must have been for people where their families are being torn apart.
It's wild that you think you could just, one, deport people or even throw them through a situation where they feel like their livelihood or where they're staying is kind of in jeopardy because, I don't know, some paperwork wasn't done correctly, and they're very much in a place where they're settling down, they're trying to help their grandkids or help their children to get to where they are and relax, and then get told, actually, you might get sent back to where you're going.
I've seen how people have suffered, mental health, people have died.
These people were in this country for X amount of time, were born in this country, and yet you're looking to send them back. But send them back to where? To a different culture which is totally alien to them. These people are British, they're not Jamaican, they're not St. Lucian, Bajan, they're British, not African or anything, they're British.
They used the race card to divide us and keep us apart. And then they can be strong and make us weak. And that's the key to it most of the time. You and I, everybody in here is one.
So who would you say is your community hero, and could you tell us a bit about them?
I wouldn't say I had a community hero, but I would say I had a father, if not a father figure in my life.
My community hero would be my father. He taught me what it was to build a community, how to capitalise on your community and involve others to join you and build a better foundation for others coming up.
It's my parents. My dad. My dad was a musician. He was a barber. He worked. He looked after 7 children. We didn't need to beg, steal, or borrow. He looked after my mum. My mum looked after him because it's a team.
There is no other hero for me. There is no Marcus Garvey or Dr. King. They're all right, but my mum is my hero.
My mum, when I was a kid, helped set up a charity for parents of autistic children. So I would go to a weekly football group that was set up as part of that charity.
My grandma, she's not around anymore, but she's done quite a lot. Well, a lot, not quite. She's done a lot for the community in the New Cross and Deptford area in terms of putting on workshops and youth centres for a lot of the underprivileged children.
My community hero was my mum when she was around. She used to be a youth worker when she was young, when she was alive. She done a lot for the community, even at church. She done a lot for me, my family, and she was always there for everybody else. So she put everyone else before herself.
My consultants who understand and listen and look after me. I have amazing friends, amazing. And as much as they didn't know about sickle cell when they first met me, they've grown to know about it and learn about it. My children are there.
Sorry. My son and my daughter are always there for me, always by my bedside. So sorry. 18 months ago, I nearly died with sickle cell and chest infection. And those children were there 24/7.
My grandfather, who was blind, by the way, I think is my greatest hero as a human being. He was very, very progressive, even with sight loss. And he never felt that anything should be a deterrent. You just find out how you can overcome it.
I'm the founder of an organization. It is called James Rasonto Youth Sport. And this was named after my son, James, who I lost 5 years after moving here from Jamaica. And you're actually in the building that he was a member of. And you're actually in his own community that he did something bravely 11 years ago, which was to get involved in an altercation with a group of boys. I tend to call them gangs, but they're all friends of this youth center. They all used to come here and make music, you know. But somebody was upset with somebody, and he saw what was happening, and he went in the midst of it to try and calm the situation down. However, he did a very good job. I must say I'm proud of him because he saved that young man who was actually stabbed 3 times. He has done something so bravely. He gave himself senselessly with everything. Not just that. Not just that moment. He was always giving. I didn't know I was feeding homeless people in my home. When I lost him, I'm walking down the street in Sydenham. This young man came on his bicycle up to me. "Hello, miss, you don't know me, but I know you. You're James' mom. What am I going to do?" He's not here anymore. He will always be my hero for what he has done for the community, for what he has done for his friends. One friend started a clothing design company in his name. One started a cooking thing. No, this child come to the UK, and within 5 years, he has bridged all this gap in making a change engaging, empowering, and making a difference. The school had a separate memorial for him. There were over 200 plus young people at the school. And the priest said, everyone, use one word to describe James. Humble, kind, forgiving, loving. I remember sitting there and I feel like I was in a Malcolm X or one of those movies, because I was like, is this real? Miss Bradley was the principal, and she held my hand and she said, Colette, you should be so proud. You should be so proud.
I got kicked out at 14, yeah? Lee was one of the people that used to look after me. I appreciate Lee. He looked after a lot of us. Even now when I talk to people, Lee was one of those people that, I grew up poor. I got no issues with that. But anything I didn't have, I could go to Lee, and Lee would have it. Football boots, trainers. He was one of those kind of guys. Well, we supply hot meals once a week, and we give food parcels to young people in hostels, mother and baby units, ex-offenders, and substance abuse. But I'll say 70% of our services is mostly used by young people in hostels and HMOs.
I think, hands down, my community heroes are the young women that we work with. They experience things that nobody should have to experience in their lives. They navigate so much adversity and trauma. They're constantly fighting against the odds. They are some of the bravest people I know, and courageous.
This is a hard one, because when I think about heroes in my life, there wasn't many. But when I really think of my community heroes, it was the children's charities and the charities that really worked with young people that were facing issues like exploitation, grooming, growing up in the care system, having neglectful families, and the charities like Just for Kids Law and the Children's Society, who really helped piece back together my life after the issues I faced.
My community hero would be Jerry Devine. He's the one that saw me, realized that I would be a good person to work in the community and work for young people, as I was one of the young people that was on the streets at 14. And I had lived a little bit of that life. So yeah, Jerry Devine is the person that got me into youth work.
Youth workers. I think youth workers are an integral part of our society, and that's due to the way the world's set up and society is run up in terms of parents aren't able to parent as much as they want to because they have to work. Youth workers help shape a lot of the young people into a positive direction, because if they don't have those kind of positive changes or positive role models around, what happens is they start to get involved in looking for groups that they identify with, and sometimes who you identify with in an area is not always the most positive. It might be gangs and so forth. And the best way to stay away from that is to have positive role models and people that are giving you the good advice.
So my community hero was my coach. He's helped me develop from a young'un to now, even throughout my academic year at school. When I had any struggles outside of athletics, he would mentor me to be better outside and on the track as well. Taught me to be more disciplined, also to put in 100% in anything I do, not just running, school, to also communicate better.
Mr. Charles, he's been a community hero since I was a little boy. I literally just saw him 5 minutes ago as well, that's why he's fresh in my mind. He used to make sure I went to school. He used to help a lot of the bad kids around there. You know what they say about Peckham. He used to help all of us, make sure we all got education.
In a place called Be Urban, and there's a guy there called Barnaby Shaw, and he's like this big kind of cuddly bear creature. He's quite tall and he looks after bees. And I think he would be my community hero because he just welcomes people in, he supports people, he provides for Kennington ecology, he looks after bees, and he was really important to me. I remember he said to me to value my presence, and that was the first time somebody made me think about that.
One of them is Trevor Swaby, and the other one is, his name's Sydney, but I call him Sid Cop. They were inspiration to me because you can see the hard work and dedication they put into the community, but those people are never recognised.
I meet one of my old youth workers. He sees me from across the car park. He's taking a picture first, and he goes, "Peter Jameson, you used to make me work. I said, yes, and I call his name and I said, we used to keep you on your toes, yeah? But this is a guy who would always take time out for us. And as energetic and unruly kids, we would constantly push boundaries, you know, but this guy never ever gave up on us. And like, you know, every now and then he'd sit us down and, you know, he would share some knowledge with us, like, and these things were seeds that he was sowing.
Lovely, beautiful, phenomenal woman called Pauline Campbell. She was a lead on a project called SAVU, Southwark Anti-Violence Unit, and it was a multi-agency project. And she's somebody that, you know, gave me good advice, instilled confidence in me as well to go on to do other stuff.
My first community hero was Mr. Toy, because he was the founder of the SAVU team. He was the head of community safety. And he encouraged me and he pushed me also to do more.
So my community heroes would be people like Chris, Sydney, Trevor, Valen, whereby, as I said, I was angry. Like, you know, I'd been moved into a different area I wasn't familiar with. I was also going through a lot as a young person, you know, being a young woman. These people took the time to have a conversation with me, to see how I was feeling, to, you know, get my opinion on something. And coming from where I came from, I always felt like I was voiceless, particularly as a child. I don't know if you've heard that saying, like, children should be seen and not heard. So I always felt voiceless. But then there were these adults that were coming and, you know, asking me what I thought or giving me something to do that made me feel important.
My heroes, I mean, like I mentioned Sydney, what's it called? I can mention, like, the likes of Anna Lumley. I can mention the likes of Doreen Sinclair McCullen, Trevor Swaby, Jonathan Toy. I came into policing wanting to make a difference with the young people, and it was an understandable barrier because it was a barrier that I had when I was growing up with policing. Having individuals that shared that same vision and passion for youth, whether they want to make the right choices or the wrong choices. There's also factors like poverty, peer pressure, parenting, the right support systems available to them, career opportunities.
We know that it costs £120,000 roughly to lock a young person up in custody for a year. And for way less than that, you could run a project that would have massive, meaningful impact for those young people and could divert away from that kind of lifestyle.
All the youth clubs in my community, it's literally gone. Where?
You do ice skating, you do go-karting, you do archery. We went many different places, and that's when funding was there that you could be creative. So it's like you could open them up to see different things.
After school and in their holidays, you could come and do a film project, you could go and play football, you could go on a trip to Liverpool and go to the Maritime Museum.
That was a really, really good experience for me. I actually went with part of a larger group, and you know, a lot of them would be like tough guys or tough girls, and when we went to Liverpool we actually learnt a lot.
They should bring black people here to know how much people have struggled to get us where we are today, and then for them to go and mess it up on the streets, acting the way that we are presented stereotypically, it's very bad. And I think if they're brought to a place like this, then I think they will think twice about some of their actions and some of the things that they do.
Like, I feel like I want to cry or something, but I ain't going to cry. But still, I feel like I want to cry. Because things that I've seen, like big chains and that man's in chain. Like, since I came here, yeah, one thing I want to do, I want to see our Africans. I want to visit Africa. That's what I want to go there. Like the motherland, innit? I want to reach there.
And you literally saw grown boys or grown men crying. And you literally saw everyone just go silent. I mean, that was so profound and impactful and influential.
I've seen so many amazing young people develop into, you know, really, really good jobs, really, really good citizens. And that's been off the back of the work with community work.
There was a point from 2010 to 2015 where all of the colleagues that I'd worked with in the youth offending service, in social service, Anna, Sydney, Peter Jameson, all the people I'd worked with who were amazing at working with young people, all got let go. And then the crime rate, weirdly enough, started going back up again.
Youth work was going fine years ago. We were getting the numbers in, we were seeing the changes. Then all of a sudden, we don't need youth work no more.
When you work with these young people, it's like you make an unofficial pledge. Yeah? Nobody's been there for you. I hear you. I will be there for you. I won't let you down. And you strive to honour that, but the system fails you.
They need to open the youth clubs. I feel really bad about it, and I think that they need to have the clubs more open because there's a lot of antisocial behaviour on the streets.
These kids have been emptied out into the street with not much.
When you start reducing programs that make a difference in young people's lives, it really does have it takes its toll in the community, and it takes its toll in my type of work, policing-wise.
You have to learn from the elders.
I've been doing youth work from the time when a lot of kids used to go on residentials, which is something unheard of now.
Yes, you've done the hard bit. Excellent. Well done.
Good man.
Yes, Chris.
Go on, that was great. Yeah.
They'd give you funding to run provisions in community halls. That doesn't exist anymore. It's just things have just gone backwards.
I mean, since I've been around, there isn't like sort of structure that I think a lot of young people need growing up. So for that reason, I don't think that I have a community hero.
Why would you make cuts to that which is considered to be the future?
You could be walking down the street and somebody call out your name and they always say, that's my teacher, or that was my youth worker, and you made a difference in my life.
And I really appreciate the work that you was trying to do with me. To me, that's what I love. That's when I get a big buzz out of youth work. That's my high.
It's just a wonderful feeling. That's all I can say.
That's the satisfaction when they come back to me and says, yeah, you made a big difference in my life.
You meet them when they're at the lowest part of their life, and then they go on to whether they go on their first job interview or they pass their theory test.
And they realise the testament of your work, the seed your soul come back.
The advice I'd give to young people in the community is stay to yourself, keep to yourself, be positive.
Is find your purpose. Purpose is everything, Once you get your purpose, it gives you your passion, it gives you your perspective.
You're not entitled to anything. The only thing you're entitled to is what you fight for and what you work for.
To not blame yourself, to understand that things happen and that you are strong enough to get through it.
Think ahead, have your aspirations, and don't let anyone tell you can't reach them.
Get off your phone, talk to people in person. People aren't talking to each other, it's all typing.
Listen to your parents, stay focused in school, never be afraid to ask for help.
We need to believe in ourselves more. I think if we believe in ourselves more, especially the young people, a lot of them are starting to.
Don't sweat about the things that you can't change, and just put your time and energy into things that you can change.
The main thing is to take action in anything you're doing. You just have to take it day by day, step by step.
Don't get tricked out of your position for material things and superficial things.
Make sure that you're spending a decent amount of time with real people and really building a sense of community.
We can help each other to heal together. We can do what we can for the community. It has to be up here. It has to be educating, connecting, supporting, encouraging, and not judging the individual.
Education is a must, because it gives you a chance to understand what the environment you're living in.
Take everything that you can, utilise everything that's around you.
Don't look for value and validation from outside, but seek it within.
And you have to be strong. And I'm telling you, real strong. Peer pressure is something which is really, really powerful.
Just follow your dreams, but don't give up, and be hopeful that there's always better. Even if you're in a dark place, there's always better things to come, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Just work hard and just know that everything that you envision, everything that you're working hard towards, it's going to come to pass.
So be driven, be honest, have faith, and enjoy yourself. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Happiness is free, and it really is.